Yeah, in this video I will do a review of Game Week 34. Now we start with the goalkeeper, David Raya. He did very well, a clean sheet, 3 bonus points. He was man of the match and he had 3 saves, which gave him also an extra point. So 4 points for a clean sheet, 3 bonus points, 1 point from 3 saves, and 2 points because he played more than 60 minutes. So Raya was the right decision, 10 points. Then we go further with the defenders, and the defenders for some reason did quite well. Gabriel had a clean sheet, and Gabriel had also 2 bonus points. So Raya had 3 bonus points, and Gabriel had 2 bonus points, 8 points. Van Dijk didn't have a clean sheet, but he had his defensive contributions. So in total he got 4 points. Now Peter Porro had a clean sheet, and he also had 1 bonus points, and also had the defensive contributions and a yellow card. So clean sheet and defensive contributions and 1 bonus points and a yellow card give total 8 points. So but the defenders did very well. You can see now that was a massive amount of points, 30 points for 4 players. That was very good. That was very good. 4 players, 30 points. 3 players from the 4 got the clean sheet. So I was happy with that. It was a good result. But then we go to midfield, and there was a bit of a disaster. The midfield did absolutely nothing. The only player did something was Bruno Fernandes. Wilson played only 2 points, no goal or an assist. Xavier Simons, no goal or an assist. And he was substituted with a very bad injury. He's out for the World Cup. He's a knee injury and he's out for a long time, so very unlucky. Morgan Rogers, 2 points, no goal or an assist. Bruno Fernandes had an assist, 5 points. And Mohamed Salah, to sum it all up, how poor it has been going for me now. I had Salah as a captain, as a little bit of a differential, but Salah was substituted after 58 minutes. If he would have been on the pitch 2 minutes later, he would have got 3 points and 6 points from me. But he was substituted after 58 minutes. It was 2-0 for Liverpool. So he only got 1 point. 2 minutes later, he would have got 3 points. It just sums it up how it's going lately, the last 6-7 weeks for me. It is awful. But it was just a poor choice, I think. Salah as a captain. It was a bit of a gamble, but it went totally wrong. I should have picked Bruno Fernandes. He had 5 points, and Salah only had 1 point. But the midfielders, yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. Nothing was going on there. Absolutely nothing, except the assist for Fernandes, but it is poor. 14 points for 5 players. It's almost embarrassing. That was absolutely nothing. Yeah, in front I picked Isaac, and that was a good pick. He made a goal, had 2 bonus points, so that was the right decision. A bit of a surprise maybe, but I think Isaac is a very good player, and he made a goal and he had 8 points. So that was the right decision. There was a bit of a differential. And Watkins, yeah, 2 points, no goal or an assist. Aston Villa played a horrible match against Fulham, created nothing almost. And then they lost 1-0 to Fulham. But they were very poor against Fulham, only 2 points. So it was a bit of a disappointment too. And then we go to the bench, but the bench was nothing spectacular. The Kepa Ariza Balaka didn't play because Raya played, of course. Reinilde had 1 point on the bench. Mane 2 points, and Heaven had also 2 points. But in general, it was a game week. I had 54 points in total, which is not a bad score. The average was 36. So I was thinking my ranking will get better now, but no, again I dropped in the ranking. I think I can't believe it. Average was 36 and I had 54 points, 50% above average. And again I dropped in the ranking, and for the 7th time in a row now I'm dropping in the ranking. I was 13,000 8 weeks ago, and now I am 183,000. It's poor. 183,000 is my current ranking. I was 13,000 7-8 weeks ago. Now, I can't believe it. But the average number of points was low because I think that because of the blank game week, I think it was a lot of managers, especially if you're in the bottom half of the ranking, had problems handling the blank game week, and that's why they're very low score. But I think the players in the, let's say, the top 1 million, I think handled the blank game week a little bit better, much better. That's why they, I think in the top 1 million, the average was probably 60-70 points. But if you look at the remainder of the ranking, I think that a lot of managers already gave up. And the managers, they don't care about the blank game week. That's why it's such a low score, 36 points. But the managers in the top 1 million handled it better, and 54 points is a reasonable score. But again, I dropped in the ranking for the 7th time in a row now. I would love to rise in the ranking in the last 4 game weeks. Still 4 game weeks to go, but it will be very difficult now to finish in a top 100,000. It's going to be a very, very tall order. Not impossible, but I don't know. I think there will be, it's not decided yet, there will be again a double game week in 36. Because City and Chelsea, they play the FA Cup final. There will be double game week in 36. City and Chelsea will play an extra match, I think, but it's not decided yet. But in 37 there might be a blank game week. Or there will be a blank game week because City and Chelsea play the FA Cup final. But that's not been decided yet, but so more news to come about that. But be aware, there will be another blank game week in 37. However, the match between City and Crystal Palace still has to be played. And I think the match between City and Crystal Palace will be played in game week 37 or 36, is not 100% sure. But it might be that City has to play in game week 37 the FA Cup final and a match for the league. That might be true. Yeah, I think they make the decision as soon as possible, probably this week. They're talking about it this week. They make a decision about it this week. We'll see. But overall it was not a bad week, 54 points, average is 36, but still I dropped in the ranking. So that was the end of the video. I talked about, I did a review of my team for game week 34. In the next video, which will be on Friday, we'll talk about my final team for game week 35.